making baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
No gain on the dump off at second down. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
To throw on second down, Fields. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Throwing on third and long. Fields. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is fielded at the 27. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Mayfield on play action. Being chased out left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, but it'll be second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
On first down, Hilliard, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
There he goes inside the 30. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rashard Higgins, his first touchdown of the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Throwing on first down. Fields got it over the middle to Jeff Swain. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Oh, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Off play action. Fields. And he finds McDonald. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, a give to Connor. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Looking to throw on second down. Fields. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Back to throw. Fields. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. He'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
To throw, Mayfield. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The tight end Seth DeValve, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's nothing but pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of the guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defense.
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Landry now on the return. And spins away. And the Browns getting set to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throw left side to Higgins. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On 1st and 10, Fields. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fields. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. 31-6, the final score. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 28-0, the final. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week on Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. In the game you're watching has been Baker Mayfield with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, 46 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Point after try forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Wide, get wide.
They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Samuels.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Here we go, here we go.
Right back to Cotter here on first. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down now, Samuels, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Looking to throw. Fields. Open man. Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
To throw on second down. Fields. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Fields. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, and this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football, the nice little video. He's seeing that in his head as well because he wants more of that to happen. So anytime you see him that relaxed, that comfortable, usually it's a big thumbs up for him.
And the ball is knocked out. For calling luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That was really well done right there. That almost looked like a training camp drill. Able to get outside of the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and found his tight end for a nice first down. Much more difficult play than maybe he made it look.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
From the red zone now, Mayfield flushed out right. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Come get some. Come on, come get some. He don't want it.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Samuels. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Back to throw. Fields. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down. 2nd and 4. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides have thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Suckup will put this one right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
If this was boxing, you think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
Flush to his right. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Browns, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire